Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel on this road to 2000. So this is recorded on Christmas Eve. So you'll see it on Christmas Day. So just wishing you in advance a happy Christmas Day, wherever it is you are and whatever it is you do. If you're not into Christmas, then don't worry about it. It'll be all over soon. And yes, guys, let's jump into today's game and let's see what we can do. Okie dokie. Right, 10 minutes and got the black pieces and we're okay. D4, knight out, and yeah, just my usual kind of E6, D5, and then potentially C5 as well, depending on what they do here. Okay, cool. So D5 comes first. Okay, knight out. I think that's always important. Knight C6, knight C6, and then we will try and see what they want to do next. Taking just kind of invites my bishop into a much better position. Okay, so I don't think there is a check if I move this knight now. So if I take and they take, they've completely closed that off. So I'm going to take. I'm going to take here. Now the check doesn't come in first because obviously we just... Right, so they take back like so. Now, just to stop the check coming in. So check comes in. I can just stop it like so. So maybe I think it's time just to get this out. Protect the knight. I don't want to mess up my pawn structure. That's why I've sort of... Okay. Still okay here. Now, let's say try and back it up with the queen, but then I just take and then it's fine. It's all good. It's okay. It's they didn't want my knight to be able to protect this as well. So what I will do is I could just potentially take, couldn't I? And if they take, then I take. However, if they take my pawn, then I'm hitting. So I'm going to go with that. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's perfectly fine. Again, if they take the pawn, rook h g8, eyeing up their pawn. Currently can't castle, which is I think maybe something they might have wanted to do. Wow, okay, that's interesting. So now I'm coming in. And is this knight, sorry, is this bishop? I keep on saying knights and bishops, getting them confused. What's wrong with me? Right, okay. Can I maybe try and reposition this somewhere? I can't see anywhere for the time being. I think my opponent, I mean, they should have seen that because it completely messes up this side if I take this pawn. Okay, so they come back in this way. So yeah, I'm taking the pawn back. Now, bishop h4. However, queen can come out as well, which they do. So, do I need to be careful? They're looking at the pawn on h7, but can I do more than that? So, right, the question is, I can't really, got nothing to back this up. So maybe, is it ludicrous to think that maybe king d7? They're going to win a pawn. But then, or do I just take? Or maybe I can protect that pawn actually. What am I on about? I can protect that pawn. If I protect the pawn, is there any way that they can do anything about it? No, so I'm protecting the pawn. I honestly don't think I'd lose this pawn if king d7, but at the cost of potentially queen b6, eyeing up this, and then, I mean, I don't like, if I, wow, okay. Now the party is really starting. So I'm going to firstly take this pawn. I'm going to see if they castle. I think they'll take back. Which way do they take back first, though, is the question. They don't want to take this way, I don't think. Because it allows the... Okay, so they take that way. Now, can I... That's a move, isn't it? That's got to be a good move, surely. I'm going for it. I don't think that's a bad move at all. Unless I'm missing something. There's a fork, but... Sorry, not a fork. Eyeing up this pawn on f2. Can't protect it. They can protect it. Wow. Okie dokie. So now the party is really getting started. So I think... No, it's a bit tricky actually. In fact, you know what? I just can't just take, because bit of an issue actually. Say if I take, they're going to take back with one of these pawns, but it kind of, in fact, you know what? I'm taking. They can't take with this pawn, so they'll open up the rook and the queen looking at this pawn, but the bishop still protects, and obviously if you take back with this, coming with a check, now queen can get involved, and I think I look okay. I mean, they surely got to take back with the h-pawn. Yeah, they do. So now the other, I'm jumping in. That just seems like the right thing to do. I'm doing it. Okay, so what do they push forward? But then they get checked. That doesn't look great. I can finally castle. Queen f3. I take. Knight takes. Pressure on the knight. Wow, wasn't expecting that. Wasn't expecting that at all. So is it just a bit premature just jumping in there? I can't really get attacked. Is that just a nice move in general? Do I just castle? Is that just play it safe? Have they got any moves? Do I just win the pawn? Shall I just win the pawn? Does the queen get up there? Surely the queen gets involved, no? Now, that would be mate if their knight wasn't guarded in the square. So, I need to think about what they might do next as well. That's just that is a very, very nice. Ooh. That's a fork. Where do they go? Just got to be careful. I can bail out and take here, but I don't know what to think of that. Shall I just castle? I don't know why they've done that. I'm not sure. Surely it's just castle. Get my king out the way. Now, a pawn up, so obviously not that much in it. I mean, it's kind of frustrating for them because they can't move that knight currently, so, and that bishop's in a really sweet spot. I'm just wondering, is there any kind of potential for sort of moving back, tempting them to take, and then obviously jumping in there for the mate? So they're trying to give their king a bit of breathing space, I think. Or do I just say what the heck and trade off queens? Is that just winning for me? Or bishop here? Take, hitting them, but I just don't think it works. So, I don't know. It's a weird situation. I don't think they're moving that knight, and they actually don't have to move the knight. So in that case, I am just gonna. I'm not sure about this. I'm gonna trade. They want to trade. I just think this bishop is so strong. I can just come back to g6, and then these pawns are looking after the bishop, and the bishop's just looking forever on that diagonal. So okay, so now they come back. They're looking at this pawn here. I don't think it's a bad move to just try and hit the queen. I think surely if I can, I think that's the move, isn't it? That is the move. Where can they go with that? Okay, so there we go. Now, check. Backed up by the bishop. That's dodgy. That's dodgy because I win the knight. No, it's just a question of gobbling up things. I mean, that is so strong. If they wish to play on, how do I want to convert this? Maybe king. Just try and get the king involved a little bit, but they don't. So yeah, we take the victory. It's always a bit risky, isn't it, when you don't castle early on? And it's always one of the chess fundamentals I try and sort of apply. But in that situation, I don't think it was too bad because there was no sort of, I couldn't see any threats coming in. But yeah, opponent kept me on my toes. Wasn't a bad game all round, I think. Okay, so they played with 75. I played with 79. They had a blunder. So that's the difference. There wasn't much in it. See, I don't mind this setup I've got against d4. Although it is slightly passive. See, I'm getting my pieces out. It's very sort of, if they take, then I sort of jump in. So I'm kind of relying on them sort of just taking something. Now, there's not much in it here, but I still liked being able to take that. Okay, cool, look, come in and trap me. And then, although they can't do anything yet because my bishop defends this square, I did get a little bit worried, thinking, oh dear, am I going to get it trapped? Wow, queen all the way back. I guess I was hoping for them to sort of take here, and then I could at least get my bishop involved, maybe take, and then obviously king would have to take back, and then I take the check. So, I didn't like that. So yeah, a few inaccurate moves by myself, but it wasn't too bad. Yeah, okay. Then I come back. Make sure you're protecting the pawns. That's solid. That's just... Now, oh, in fact, they could only go one way. That's me being dopey. Okay, so they could only go one place, and that just wins the knight. It's funny how it wants me to take... Oh, of course. I'm such an idiot. So basically, if I take the pawn on c3, it's still check, and I still win the knight. So I win 2 bits. That's worth... So I just jumped at the chance just to win the knight when I could have won a pawn as well. It's little things like that that sometimes you've got to watch out for. But yeah, happy with that. Got the victory. And hope you guys enjoyed. And wishing you all, again, a very happy Christmas. Take care of yourselves. And I'll see you in probably a couple of days or so. Take care. See you later. Bye-bye.